Hi everyone, welcome to the financial accounting and reporting classes. In this particular class, I'll be walking you through in detail about exam pattern according to the new syllabus of 2024, and now it's in 2025 also. This is also applicable, right? So we'll be walking you through the new exam pattern, how many testlets are being there, how many questions are being there, what is the weightage of those respective courses or those respective topic in this series of video lecture. In addition to that, I'll be walking you through about the skill level required in the examination of FAR and how you should build those skills for preparation of FAR exam for the US CPA. So let's dive into to understand more in detail.
Hi everyone, welcome to the FAR batch. So in today, it's a very first class of the FAR batch, right? In this today class, we'll be discussing like complete overview of the FAR, financial accounting and reporting. If you see like in next, like 3 hour almost, we'll be discussing in detail about, like chapter by chapter, the detail, what is the weightage of the respective chapter in your examination, and then we'll be discussing about exam pattern for the FAR specifically and what kind of skill level they test in the during the exam for the FAR specifically, and each testlet how it is being designed and defined, and what is the importance of the each testlet which is coming into your exam. Then third thing we'll be discussing like overview of the gap. That is also very important. Like people study FAR, people study a lot of accounting course, but they are not mapped with the with the general accounting standard which is being applicable in the United States of America. So we'll be discussing, I'll be giving you deep understanding of how those gap have been developed and from where you can look at the gap for your ready reference easily at any point of time as and when you need it, right? Then we'll be discussing or understanding, I'll be sharing some understanding about the fundamentals of the gap, what are the themes and what are the bases why those gap have been developed and how those gap have been developed. And then we'll be investing good amount of time in looking at like complete overview, or you can say complete blueprint or complete syllabus of the FAR, which you can expect would be coming into your exam. And then if time allows, we'll start through some key definition before jumping into the actual course. And then after, we'll be spending some time in looking at the financial statement. So today's class is being dedicated more on the complete holistic overview of the financial accounting and reporting. And then from next class, we'll start jumping into the chapter one by one, right? So ready to dive in? Okay, let me present my screen and then we can go from there. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's visible to everyone. Cool. So now starting with the overview. First point, if you see in your book, you have 5 chapters. Chapter 1 is like complete overview of the FAR. Then chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are actual, you can say, study material which you need to study for your respective exam. So first one, if you see, is the chapter 2, from where you need to start your study. That chapter is conceptual framework, standard setting, and financial reporting. So this chapter will be coming on an average 25 to 35% of your exam. So average, you can say 30% of your exam you can expect from very first chapter, which is conceptual framework, standard setting, and financial reporting, right? And the third chapter in your book is selected financial statement accounts, in which you will be understanding about respective accounts, whether it's being assets, its liability, equity, income statement. Like for example, in assets, cash and cash equivalent, account receivable, or if you say like in terms of liability, your short-term liability, long-term liability, current liability, non-current liability, or debts, so on and so forth, all those respective items. And if you look at like income statement, your revenue recognition standard, your expenditure, your lease expenses, all those things will be coming in this chapter. And this one is the most important chapter. If you see, the weightage of this chapter is 30 to 40%, which is very significant. If you see in all the 4 subject, all the 4 chapter, this chapter has the highest weightage of 30 to 40%. So that, like that means on an average, you can expect 35% approximate of your exam would be coming from this chapter, right? Then after would be select transactions. So those are more relating to, like notes to accounts and disclosure, like related party, segment, disclosure, or disclosure for the long-term debts, short-term debts, interest, so on and so forth. We'll be discussing in detail one by one, but just high level, I'm sharing you what you can expect in this chapter. And in that chapter also cover around 20 to 30% of your exam. So on an average, 25% of your exam you can expect from chapter 4, right? And the last chapter is state and local government. So that comes on a range of 5 to 15%. So average, you can expect 10% of your exam might be coming from state and local government. So this is also important for passing of your CPA exam. So overall structuring, if you see, it is being conceptual framework, standard setting, and financial reporting, approximate 25 to 35%. Most important one is selected financial statement account, that is 30 to 40% of your exam, and then select transaction would be 20 to 30%, and state and local government accounting would be around 5 to 15% of your exam. So that's how your exam will be structured. Now coming to the actual exam. So how the actual exam might be looks like, feel like. So that actual exam will be having 5 testlets. The first testlet would be having 33 multiple choice question, and the second testlet is again 33 multiple choice question. And how actually this exam work is based on adaptive technology. So if you perform really good in the testlet 1, so in testlet 2 you can expect like difficult question might be coming. So the level of difficulty will increase if your testlet 1 went really well. So when you see in the testlet 2, the difficult questions are coming on your way, that means you have done really good in testlet 1, right? So first and second testlet would be of multiple choice question, in which you can expect 33 multiple choice question each. So approximate, sorry, in total 66 multiple choice question would be coming in your exam. Then we have testlet 3. In testlet 3, there will be 2 task-based simulation only, right? And after that, you'll be getting a 15-minute allowed break, which you should avail that break to refresh yourself, go to the washroom, have some water, munch something, and then get back to the exam. Because, like exam is a 4-hour exam, right? It's a long time. They also understand like student may not be able to concentrate for entire 4 hour together. So it's always good to give a break. And this 15-minute is a allowed break. So you all should avail that, right? And then testlet 4 would be having 3 task-based simulation, and testlet 5 would be having 2 task-based simulation and 1 research-based simulation, right? So that's how your exam will be looking like. And to pass that exam, you need to score more than 75, right? And now coming to the level of testing, skill level testing, right? There are 4 categories of skill level that is being generally tested in the CPA exam. But in coming to the financial accounting and reporting exam, which is FAR exam, they test 3 kind of skills. First is whether you are remembering or understanding the concept or not. So that will be very straightforward question. Like for example, let's say like uh, if you say like check issued but not presented for the payment, would it be considered as addition to the bank reconciliation or removal from the bank reconciliation? That kind of straightforward question would be coming as remembering or understanding of the concept. Then second category of skill test is the application of accounting standard test. That comes 50 to 60%. Like if you have, let's say 66 multiple choice question, so you can expect around 30 to 35 question would be on an application base. So application base means the use to demonstrate your knowledge, concept, and technique of the understanding of the respective accounting standard. So that maybe you can say, formulation of the question in which you need to respond to the question based on the you can say analysis of the respective accounting standard, right? And then third one is analysis. So that is majorly comes in the task-based simulation, and some of the multiple choice question also may have analysis based question where you need to do the math also. Right there, an examination and study of the interrelationship of separate areas in order to identify the cause and find the evidence to support those interface. For example, like one question may relates to multiple accounting standards, so you need to respond on the different accounting standard keeping in mind. So for example, like revenue recognition may come along with the bad debts provision, right? Or maybe like an agreement which is having lease component as well as revenue component, you need to analyze both of them together. So those kind of questions will come in the analysis test of skill level. So three type of skill level testing. First one, which is very basic, that is remembering of the concept or understanding of the concept testing. Second one, which is mostly or widely tested, is application. And third one is analysis and correlation among the different topics, right? Any doubt or anything need more clarification before we jump onto the overview? Yes, no? Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cool, cool. Okay.